Well, in today's world, it is not enough to do research, publish in academic journals, and go on to the next problem. That is why IUPUI has established TRIP, or Translation of Research into Practice. Joining me now with more on the initiative are Charles Bantz, the Chancellor of IUPUI, and Dr. Sandra Petronio, President of the International Association for Relationship Research at IUPUI. And speaking of relationships, you're husband and wife.
We are.
Yeah, so welcome to you both. Great to have you here as always. Charles, I'll start with you. IUPUI, it continues to grow into and is one of the great urban universities in our country. How is this TRIP program, in your opinion, going to really extend that literally into the community?
Well, it builds on our tradition of doing education for practice, that is clinical practice like in medicine, education, engineering, and of course our tradition of research for innovation. And so what we do then is bring those together and carry it into the community in civic engagement. And that's what an urban research university does, I believe. And so TRIP really is a symbol of our role as an urban research university.
Sandra, as you look at, I believe there are 7 TRIP programs currently.
Yes.
Talk about some of the examples of how this program and how the TRIP initiative is working.
Well, there are a couple of different issues. One of the things is to bring out to the community, to the citizens of Indiana and the country, really, and show them the kind of things that the faculty are actually doing that could have an impact on their lives. We have a number of different examples. Elizabeth Wood, who does research on how to develop and implement programs in the children's museums. And she's worked here with the Children's Museum and, in fact, has really changed a lot of the way in which they do programs so that they're audience-specific. The kids really find out what's going on, and the parents know how to work with the children to be able to teach them once they leave and the kind of things that they learned in that museum experience. There is lots of research in medicine, obviously. Medicine, the bench to bedside, has been a tradition, but often we don't really see the kind of things, the impacts that they make. Like Gwendolyn Morrison has a research project looking at antibiotic resistance infections in hospitals. And so she's trying to work through and work with the hospital teams and administrators and help them understand the kind of issues that are important.
This TRIP initiative, this translational initiative, is really unique. Is this the first in the country?
We find that this campus in particular, I'm sure there are many other campuses that do this, but not quite in the same way that IUPUI does. We have so many programs, so nursing programs and social work programs and the medical programs and programs in liberal arts where the focus is on making the research and the discoveries work for people to make their lives better. They really do push that edge on this campus, much more so than a lot of other. We've been on 4 different other campuses, and truly when we came here we thought, my gosh, this is so interesting, because I've been working in with the concept of translation since 1998, and when I came here I said, this is a terrific campus. There's so much going on, and in so many different ways we are making a difference in other people's lives, and that's a really important message.
Yeah. Charles, as we wrap up, the program is just starting now. Ultimately, looking forward, how can you see this program really impacting not only IUPUI but Central Indiana and the entire state, really?
Well, what we will do is we will not only publicize what is already being done by faculty, but we're going to try and encourage the business community to interact with our faculty more to help together to bring things out into the community, not only in technology transfer, which you've talked a lot, for example, with David Johnson just a minute ago, but also in other disciplines. So we find in SPIA, we're discovering that the planners are very good at trying to help their research go out and improve the quality of life for Central Indiana.
Very good. Chancellor Charles Bantz and Dr. Sandra Petronio, thank you both for joining us. The TRIP initiative will be following it. Good luck going forward.
Thank you.
All right. Well, for more information, go to InsideIndianaBusiness.com, your source for news as well as video and, of course, business on demand.